said, I love your internet here. It works really well. Did you just get a notification I went live? No? What the heck, man? What would you do if I sang out of tune? Would you stand up and walk out on me?
Yeah, I'm going in the house.
You're not going to stay? You don't want to talk? Kibitz? A while? If we get any watchers?
I want to eat something that doesn't want chicken tender.
There's more chicken tenders. And there's also shells left.
Shells?
Tons of shells from yesterday. Tons of them from yesterday. Why are you trying to let that down? Yeah, I think this is 1.0. I think I got to revise it. No, leave it up. I want it up. I want it up. I want it up, man. Whoa, we got one. Probably somebody we know. This is what we're building tonight. We live a half mile off of the road, and getting the garbage to the end of the road is a major task. So this is what I have come up with. Yep, we lost our watcher. This is what we've come up with to handle these garbage cans on the end of the Kubota B2650. Problem is the fulcrum point. What's that? Frozen? The fulcrum point is way too far out, and they're really, really bouncy. So this is, like I said here on the live, 1.0. Because as we cruise down the road, that will not work very well. Hello, YouTuber Jonk. Whoever you are, sir. How are you? Hello from Wyoming. Jaden Morgart. Hello from Wyoming. Hello from southwestern Pennsylvania. We're out here in the garage messing around with things to try and make our lives easier. And this is a little bracket that I made tonight out of pallet racking. Just throwing some stuff together to get some ideas here. Hello from Seattle, Washington. Hello from southwestern Pennsylvania, just outside of Pittsburgh, where our Pittsburgh Steelers whooped up on some New York Jets last night. I didn't think they were going to, but boy, did they ever, huh? Yeah, so this is version 1.0. Not real sure if I like it, but we are starting to learn some things here. I am by no means an engineer, just a guy who tries to make things easier for me, but I think as you go down the driveway, those are going to, that bracket's not going to last long. All it is some pallet racking, leftover pallet racking. Made some T-brackets, as you can see. And I put them all together. It's not the easiest thing to put on the end of the bucket either. I think what I'm going to end up doing is taking the bucket off and actually building a bracket that goes on the bucket carriage itself, rather than have it hanging way out there like it is. KJ cleaned the garage up a little bit tonight and started tearing apart his Dana 44 TTB. Yeah, see how they're all kind of stacked cattywampus? But here, they're all pretty straight. Yeah, I've got to work on that. I think I'm going to have to put a bracket along the bottom of the bucket to help substantiate them a little further. Big brother live. What's happening, big brother? So this is version 1.0. Like I said, I think I have to get it off the edge of that bucket. It's too far away from the pivot point, and it gets them things going crazy out there. But it does work. So the principle, the idea is there. It's just I have to have a little better follow through, something a little more substantial. Like I said, I think I'm going to put a bracket along the bottom of the bucket here to where this thing isn't so flexy. What would you do? It finally got on a live stream. Yes, you did, brother. Yes, you did. We're out here messing around with a easier way to haul the garbage to the end of the lane. Swap this around here. Get me a batteria. I need a batteria. It's gonna have to be this one. Sorry, don't mean to make you guys sick. Go ahead and hit that like button, guys. It really does force the live out to more people. Gets it out to more and more people. Let me show you what we got here. So I loosened the clamps there. Give me 1 second. 1 second, 1 second. All right, here it is off the bucket. I've got spacers built in here for the clamps. There's a clamp for each portion of it. And this piece was too short, so I added 6 inches to either end of it. This is to where the bucket clears going on, but like I said, I think I'm going to have to take the bucket off, which I can't say I've ever had the bucket off of this thing, to be honest with you. You're not getting that one off. It's bent. Go figure. I don't know. Seems like maybe something to mess with tomorrow. But I got to get the garbage cans at the end of the lane tomorrow. That's what we're trying to do here. Trying to get the garbage handled easier. We live a half mile off the road, and my father-in-law takes the garbage down. And needless to say, the garbage company can dump these. And they get heavy. You load them up full. Well, that one ain't got nothing in it. This one's got some stuff in it. And what I'm trying to figure out here is if I can use these instead of getting a dumpster for the garages. Because we've created quite a mass of garbage. And I got to get it to the end of the lane, and I need to do it in an easy manner. And I'm hoping that bracket that I made is going to be the answer. Tonight's bracket, it didn't work out so well. It on the end of the bucket, it flexes way too much, and I'm going to have to, like I said, get that bucket off and actually build it to the carriage for the bucket, rather than leave it hang way out on the edge like that. You can buy these individual brackets that bolt right onto the bucket, just like a bucket clamp. But they're like $60 a piece. And so far I have one evening in that conglomeration right there that I built. And for all intent and purposes, it works. It's just really flexy, really bouncy. So I think if I did some reinforcements, it would probably work a lot better. But for right now, that's what we got. You guys got any questions? We're in KJ's shop right now, out here in southwestern Pennsylvania. Like I said earlier, just below Pittsburgh. We got George's truck in here that we're supposed to be fixing, but we haven't got to that. KJ's got his Dana 44 over there on the floor, all in pieces. And I'm just out here messing around with this, trying to get it figured out to where our garbage isn't such a pain in the butt to handle. Not much going on other than that tonight. KJ did, like I said, cleaned up the garages. He sold some pieces and parts off of the other parts truck, which he got unloaded. That's it there. 96 F-150 that we're using. I don't think the truck attachment engages the pipe on the can. The truck attachment slides in behind the pipe into the void in the can, I think. I agree, but this is what I got. This is how I know that they have the lift on our garbage truck. And as you can see, this pin has definitely been engaged on something quite a bit. So every one that I see commercially available that hooks onto those, that's how it hooks. It actually looks very similar to these, the ones that I made. The only problem is this is all, like I said, pallet racking, so it's really flexy. See, I mean, I can even move it just like that. It's probably too flexible, obviously, for what I'm trying to do here, and that's kind of where we're having some problems. I need to make it a little more substantial. But this is proof of concept. It will work. It's just a matter of making it a little more substantial, making it to where these big toter trash cans won't bounce around all over the place. And like I said, I believe the bucket, it creates too much of a fulcrum from the back of the bucket to the front of the bucket, puts that much more speed on the adjustment whenever you are tilting the bucket. It wants to throw the trash cans clear off. That's why I think if I were to take that bucket off and use just the carriage for the bucket, which will be tomorrow night. Yeah, the channel would definitely be strong enough. I was thinking about using wood, but I've got all this old pallet racking laying around, so I just started cutting it up. And if you've got a MIG welder, you guys know that that's metal glue, right? C-channel, yeah. Well, that's essentially what this is. It's just not substantial enough. And what that is, obviously these little pieces here are the pieces on this pallet racking that tie it all together. But it's just not strong enough. It wants to flex around quite a bit. Guys, if you're on the channel here, give me a like. Make sure that we can push this live out to as many people as we can so I can get the watch time and get everything up and running on Mongo's Garage. We do have, this is 998. This is the 998th video that we've posted. There is plenty of content on the channel. We rebuild old Ford pickup trucks, much like this one. This is a 96 F-250. It's been straight axle swapped with a Dana 60, 7.3 with a 5-speed. We painted this truck earlier this year. I think we got it out of the shop right around April. And George has had nothing but problems with it ever since. Well, self-induced problems. Transmission exploded on him once. We became a ZF troubleshooting warehouse, or parts stocking warehouse now. That's a case for a ZF5 laying there. His original case is outside, all blowed apart. And now it's not idling right, so that's why it's back in here. KJ is in the midst of tearing a Dana 40 TTB apart. That's what you see laying there. He's got parts coming in so we can rebuild that thing from scratch. And we have a rough country 6-inch lift laying out here in the front. I know, you guys think it looks like a 1996 Ford, but it's actually a 6-inch rough country lift that KJ bought with a parts truck attached to it. So the parts truck really, he's already sold parts off of it. It had a sun visor on it. The sun visor's gone. The seat's gone out of it, and there was something else. Oh, he sold the glove box out of it today. Had a guy come up here to the shop and picked it all up. But like I said, go ahead and like the live here tonight. Push it out to as many people as we can. We've got 89 people watching now. That's the most I've had on a live yet. I'm trying to use the live format to get my watch time up to where it needs to be. I've got to have 4,000 hours of watch time. That door doesn't like to open, in order to monetize my little YouTube channel. Yeah, so the seat's been taken out. I think he plans on taking the motor, selling the motor out of this thing. We were going to get it running, but I can see one problem right now that's gonna kind of give us a little bit of a problem getting it running. The keys are missing. Well, the lock's missing. Hopefully we can get in there with a screwdriver. This was an XLT. Power windows, power door locks. The door panels are in decent shape. I do believe that those are sold. Yeah, this kid, he could sell ice to an Eskimo, I'm telling you. But that's his shop. This is Kenny's shop here. In what we call the courtyard between the two shops. And then my shop is over there. My Bronco that has, that's a 10-year project we're trying to get finished. 121 watchers, that's the most I've ever had on a live. Thanks, guys. Thanks for joining us tonight on the live here at Mongo's Garage. There's KJ's Pam, which is a 1986 F-150. And out here in the courtyard is where we usually tear stuff apart. KJ poked a fork through a transmission pan tonight, I think. That's where all that oil came from. The fork truck has really changed our lives as far as making work easier for us, getting these trucks apart. You might be thinking, do you run a junkyard? No, we do not run a junkyard. We do part trucks out, but we only do them one or two at a time. This one's going to probably be gone this weekend. KJ still has to get the cab off of it, get the engine out of it, and then we have to strip. The main reason that it's here was to strip the lift kit on it. That lift kit's never been on the road. The guy bought it, started putting it together, and then lost interest. This is a I think it's an $800, maybe $900 lift kit. $1,200, somewhere in that range. And KJ paid that for the entire truck and has already started selling parts off of it, making his money back. This truck came with a set of 35-inch 1250 15s that aren't terrible. He likes these big giant sidewalls, which I can't blame him. I like them too. And a whole bed full of stuff. Got a roll of coax that I'm sure is worth something to somebody. It was 1,000 foot of 305 meter cable. I have no idea. 305 MTR. Anybody know what this stuff is? Handier than a pocket on a shirt. Ain't that the truth? Like I said, the forklift has definitely changed how we handle things around here and how easy it makes tearing these trucks apart. This truck was on the trailer. KJ just hooked it with the forklift, lifted it up, and set her right down on the ground. It definitely makes it way easier to do things, for sure. My big brother always told me that you need to get a forklift, and we got one. We initially had a bunch of problems with our lot here. The courtyard, the fork truck did not like to run in here. It got stuck a lot. KJ actually stuck it right over there on the hillside. When we first got it, I thought it was going to be, I thought we were going to have to get a tow truck up here to get it out. But luckily, we were able to get it out and have been using it ever since. This is all packed in here real good. Back in the channel, you can see I put a bunch of what they call 304s, which is size 3, size 0, and size 4. It's base, it's road base is what they call it, and it works really well. So that's kind of what we do around here. KJ's shop is just a little over a year old. It's got a 10,000 pound lift in it. Makes things real easy there as well, lifting stuff up, and boy, I tell you, it just makes life so much better. We're working with Wall Control, who makes these metal pegboards. This is KJ's setup right now for the wall control. I'm actually working on my outside bench to get some more wall control. It's really good stuff. The only problem with this is you've got to use their pins, because these pins just fall right out. But it's good stuff. It will take the 1/4-inch pins, and it also takes, like I said, the wall control. What we are working on for the channel, every YouTube channel has a product, right? So one of the products that we are working on is a better socket holder. These are the best socket holders I've seen yet, or the ones that I like to use the most. But they have their drawbacks. They're not perfect, so we are working on improving that. And hopefully we'll have something, again, everything is proof of product, just like I'm doing here tonight with this goofy little bracket that I built out of pallet racking, used pallet racking. And what this little goofy thing is it clamps onto the edge of my bucket. And that's why these 3 garbage cans are in here. I'm using it to haul those 3 garbage cans around. Rowdy Rush, your front clip is in my shop. Are you and Rodney together tonight giving me a hard time? You guys should be over here giving me a hard time. We could be beating on that front clip right now, getting it all worked out. I'm just walking around talking to everybody on the live, trying to get as much watch time as possible. 150 watchers, that's the most we've had yet. Everybody, hit the like button. Let's see how many likes we can get on this. This is definitely the most watchers we've had concurrently. We are just piling up the watch time right now. Trying to get 4,000 hours. I'm 800 away. And these vertical lives are definitely doing the trick. I built everything out of this used pallet racking. If you can think of it, I have built it pretty much out of pallet racking. Of course, both of our shops have pallet racking in them. But it's kind of like, I say it's Legos for grown-ups. If you've got a welder, you can stick anything together. Actually, that's just the problem. I mean, I can do the vertical lives. There's really no way to give a notification that I have found yet. I am in a program right now with vertical live on YouTube, trying to learn as much as I can about it. It's what they call a boot camp, and I don't know, there's probably 500 of us in it, 500 content creators, and it's taught me a lot already. And the fact that the vertical live is available on the short shelf, and that's where they're pushing it. That's where we're getting all of the watchers coming and going here. We've got 124 congruent right now with 11 likes. I know you guys can smash that like button for me. Plus, subscribe, if I'm not mistaken. There is a subscribe button on everybody's screen right now, down on the bottom left-hand corner. And if you'd like watching or, keeping up with the crazy stuff that Kenny and I do out here in the shop, make sure you subscribe to us. But show you George's truck here, 7.3 liter. It's a really nice truck. Well, the shop itself and the concrete and everything, we've got about $40,000 in it. $38,000, and that gets you exactly where we're at here. All the wiring, the fans, the heat, we got from a friend of ours. The chimney for the heat was about $1,000. That's outside. The biggest thing here, of course, is the shop. It is insulated, totally insulated, and then we have OSB up on the walls, painted all real nice, and then I use MC cable to wire everything in these. My shop is exactly the same as this one. Mine's been up longer, across the way there, with my Bronco in it. That shop has been up for, I don't know, probably 6 years, 7 years, close to that. KJ's shop is just a little over a year old. His shop is bigger than mine. I kept my shop the size that it is, about half the size of Kenny's shop, because I know what a pain in the butt it is to heat. I can make my shop less labor. Less labor, absolutely, yeah. All the labor. Rowdy was over here helping me pour concrete. We got, thank heavens I've got good brothers that come around and help me and punch me, and, always keeping me moving. We were working out of my shop trying to get things done, and then KJ had the bright idea that, hey, if we can get that much done in your shop, Dad, let me build a shop and we can get twice as much done. That's a good thought. The only problem is now I'm over here more than I'm in my shop, helping him out, which doesn't bother me. It just, I don't get my projects done, and I rag on him a little bit, maybe too much sometime, to help me with my stuff. But I'm happy just out here staying out of trouble, keeping moving. It's better than sitting in there watching TV. I just cannot sit still and cannot watch TV like that. I have to be out moving, shaking. So, like I said, guys, make sure you hit that like button, hit the subscribe button here for Mongo's Garage. You can keep up with us on stuff like this. We're getting ready to start, once the Bronco is done, we're getting ready to start Larry, which is going to be an 86 Ford. Here comes a train. You guys ever see the train come past my house? Listen to this. This is awesome. Here he comes. It's going to be dark. Whoa. Rodney, can you hear the train at your place? Pap is watching. Give him a shout out. Pappy Rush. How you doing, Pappy Kenny? Pappy Kenny is my dad, Rodney's dad, and Rowdy's dad. And he's the one that got us all into this. He thinks we're all crazy. I don't know about you guys, but that just stands a hair up on the back of my neck. I love that. By the sounds of things, that's only 2 engines. No, there's a train behind him. So this is downgrade for these guys. I was surprised he was actually in it. Seeing them come down the grade here is actually quite a surprise to me. They don't do that very often, at least while I'm home. That's usually the direction they go during the day. It's seamless rail in front of the house, which is kind of odd for a rural line like this. But it sure does make it quiet. And that's the end of it. We should see the, there it is. EOTD, end of train device, that little red light that replaces the caboose on the back end. That's what I do for a living. I'm not a locomotive guy. I'm a train guy, though. I sell and service mobile rail car movers, trackmobiles. And that's why I think, well, the infatuation with the railroad came long before I was ever selling and servicing the trackmobiles. But it is definitely a way of life. Mama, how are you, Mama? 112 with 12 likes. I know whenever I check out the subscribers later, I usually get 20 to 25 subscribers from these, which is quite a bit. There is no more water in this fridge, and I need a water. I don't know. You guys got any questions? Anybody want to talk? Usually I have a lot more questions, especially with 116 people watching. This is a tool cart that I built many moons ago. I think I was probably, I don't know, 18, 19 years old when I built that cart. And I have turned it into the welding cart. Of course, the welder's on it. Over here in KJ's garage, this is the only place that I can get the proper voltage. She says she's okay. That's good. We keep the welding hoods in that pack out. That little gray toolbox under there was my road box when I was a roadman, my hand box, and now it has all of the welding stuff in it. Makes the easier you make things to get to, the easier it is to clean up and keep track of it, the easier it is to actually do what you want to get done. Changing things up a little bit, KJ is tearing this Dana 44 TTB apart. As you can see, he got the spindle off. This is a 308 axle. I'm sorry, a 355 axle. Nothing real special about it, just Dana 44 TTB. A lot of people do not like these axles because of the how hard it is to get them to set the alignments right, especially once you start putting 6 inches of lift on them. Pam, KJ's other truck that has the big lift on it, it's only got 4 inches of lift on it, but you can't see it right now. Maybe you can. When he backs it in there, yeah, you see how the wheels are all stuck out? He hasn't got that lined up yet. And when he backs up, it drags the front end out of alignment. And that's only going to get really bad on Larry because this lift is going to be 2 inches higher than Larry. That's a 6-inch lift that we're going to end up using for Larry. Again, Kenny bought this truck just for the lift kit, but has already sold a bunch of parts off of it. And then the rest of it will go to the scrapyard. That is a fuel-injected 302 in that truck that hopefully tomorrow, depending on where I'm at and what I'm doing, we're going to see if we can make it run. I don't know when the last time it ran was, but it doesn't have a distributor in it right now. And without a distributor, we have an HEI distributor, so I know I can make it run. The problem is with this fuel injection, getting an HEI distributor in there. Why? He said there wasn't a distributor in it. Oh, it's loose. There's a cap. I don't know what he was talking about. There's definitely a distributor in there. Definitely a distributor. Clifford. We've got 7 OBSs on the property right now. We do like our OBSs. See, there I go. We've got 7 bullnose Fords on the property right now. We definitely like our bullnose Fords. And my Bronco is an 85, so it's a bullnose as well. Yes, sir. All right, we're starting to lose some watchers. Things are starting to get boring, obviously. 14 likes. I appreciate you guys hanging out with us here tonight. I need to put the tractor away, shut KJ's shop down, and get inside. Any more thoughts on the Cobra car build? Yeah, I actually have parts in my garage for it. I've got that Mustang 2 front end that I've been putting together. I got it all sandblasted. I just need to get it painted, and I've got the motor for it, but there's so many other things that need to be done. I got to finish up the Bronco. Once the Bronco's done, I can put the Cobra in my shop, or, well, we're going to do Larry. I think Larry's first, and then we're going to paint Pam. What color are you going to paint the Stang? Keep the steam going. Let's see, the Cobra, I think I'm going to do, I'm going to be like, Cletus McFarland, and paint it gray. Shiny primer, I think. Not really sure. Oh, Lace Curtico wants to see my Bronco. My Bronco is called BOV1. It was, I had started a magazine article for a prepper magazine on what the proper BOV or bug out vehicle would be, and the Bronco was going to be it. But that was after, or well before COVID. And now when I flip this around, don't you guys yell at me, because my garage is a mess right now. The other thing over here, I'm out of reach of KJ's Wi-Fi in his shop, so we may end up having some issues. Homemade bumpers. That bumper is a 1/2 inch thick so that it can handle the 37-inch spare tire I'm going to hang on the back of it. It has been 1-ton swapped, just like Ford would have done it. So it has a 10 1/4 in the rear and a 60 in the front. It is sitting on a set of 2012 50s. I don't know how they say this. KJ always hollers at me because I say the size wrong. I got to find it on the tire. 37 1250 20s. It's a lot of tire for what I have. Texas me, you're about to understand why I say it's a lot of tire. Are you ready? Are you ready? Ready to find out why? 306. And that 306 is completely rebuilt bottom to top. I didn't do anything special to it. I just put it together. It's pretty much stock at his board. It was decked. The head was cut just to get everything back up. So it's got maybe just a little bit more compression than it should have. But that is a 306. It's got a big block Ford radiator in it with the 306. You got to use that stupid little fan shroud, right? That thing's hilarious. It's going to have dual batteries in it. You can see over on the other side, that's going to be my power distribution panel with power and grounds. Everybody knows what a pain in the butt it is on these things when you have bad grounds. It does have a high torque starter because I couldn't possibly keep starters in this stupid thing. I know I had ended up putting, I want to say it was 4, what are they called? Napa starters. Like I said, dual batteries, battery here, there'll be a battery over there, all wired together. Front bumper is a custom bumper as well. Local company cuts everything up for me. I weld it all together. Front bumper's not a 1/2 inch thick. I think it was made out of 1/8 inch. Mongo's garage on the grill there, or on the grill on the radiator. This is an AC dash, AC Bronco, which means, of course, that the cowl is cut for AC. But I'm not using it currently because I plan on having the roof off of this thing every day in the summer. I had an Opie 4-barrel intake, just sold it for $215. I'm gonna cry. The Oppies. I want to do an Oppie intake on this and go fuel injection, but that gets me away from my theory of the BOV, the bug out vehicle. What I wanted to do here was make this thing as simple as possible. That way it is as reliable as you can possibly think that it would ever be. But of course, when you have something clear to the frame and you start doing stupid things, it doesn't become reliable anymore. It becomes overly complicated. There is a 12,000-pound winch hidden inside of that little slit there. I did the Aussie thing and hid all of my winches. Not only is there a winch in the front, there's a winch in the back. But before I get back there, this is one thing I am really proud of, and I tell everybody about it. This Bronco is as though it was as though Ford built a 1-ton Bronco. I used this frame. This frame is sad. I used, what is that junk called? I am not a fan of it. POR 13 or POR 14. I used that, and it sat outside in the UV, and it all went chalky. So it looks like crap right now. But the frame is, it's a really good frame. The Bronco body itself was junk. It's got over 70 patches in it. Here, I'll show you some. Full quarters. These quarters, I had to pie cut them down here because they absolutely did not fit. The doors wouldn't shut. Patches, let's see. Yeah, of course I can't see any here. All of this was rebuilt. Same on that side. All that was rebuilt. Over the fender wells was rebuilt. That's a brand new floorboard over there. It is a 4-speed. This is the power center for it. Put HEI distributor in it and all the computer out of less wires under the hood. Yeah, there is an HEI on it right now. That is definitely what I did. LED headlights. So remember, guys, I said I started building this thing 10 years ago. And 10 years ago, when I was buying all these parts, LED headlights weren't a thing. So I went out and I found the only DOT-approved LED headlights 10 years ago. You can imagine what they cost. There they are. I just had these on Larry, KJ's truck. These are truck light LEDs. And they're upside down right there. And they're still, I think, almost $350 a piece if you buy the truck light brand. They are very bright, and I like them. KJ says he doesn't, but those are the headlights I'm using. I've got a shifter boot here for the four-wheel drive. But I got parts laying everywhere for this truck. This is a factory Ford NOS fender that I went to, whatchamacallit, to get. Big old dent in it right there. That I went to Buffalo, New York to get. I got two fenders and a door. Factory NOS Ford. And I know you guys want to see the mark. Just to prove that it's a Ford. That says Ford 1986 right there. So this is NOS 1986 sheet metal. I'm not by any means that picky. I just couldn't pass up the deal. Yes, EMP will knock out the HEI. The only thing that the EMP would not knock out would be a set of points. But if I looked around here, I could find it. I have a points distributor for the 306, which was going to go ahead and be put in the Bronco and be carried around with me at all points, at all times. I was going to do the quick and easy swap over with the wiring for the points. That is the Ford door, and the other Ford fender is actually on it. This fender is the other Ford fender. That hood I got from a guy in Greensburg. That door came from Jeff's Bronco Graveyard, as did the full quarters. You can't buy full quarters for bullnose Broncos today. You can only buy patch panels. I bought those, again, 10 years ago when you could still buy them from Jeff's. And like I said, they're junk. Go back and check out the build series on this truck. You can see I think I had a whole video on it where I had to, like I said, I had to pie cut them right here and move this door in quite a bit to get them to fit. Under this back bumper, that's what I was coming back here to show you. There was a winch under there too. There is a 3-inch body lift on this truck. Other than that, there is no lift. So it is this high with just a 3-inch body lift. Like I said, it's a 1-ton conversion. It's got a 10 1/4 in the rear and a Dana 60 in the front. One thing we didn't talk about was all the electronics I have in the overhead console. So above there is an aux beam controller that's going to control all of the exterior lighting. Below there is that's a President McKinley CB radio that has short band and weather channel on it. Of course, there's an interior light there, and then I'm going to do a bunch of accent lighting, red accent lighting inside and outside. Hopefully, it's not going to get me in trouble. The 50 cal. There's the mount for it. No, that's actually the back seat mounts. I don't have a 50 cal mount in it yet, but don't think that I won't. It does have a roll cage in it. It's just what we call a sport cage. It's not tied into anything, although, as you can see, that is 2x4, or I'm sorry, 2x3 rectangular tubing. In the back, underneath of here, there's a piece of that runs left to right, and these go down and are welded into it. Up front, the rock sliders are going to tie into the bottom of the roll bar up there, so it will be a functional roll bar when I'm done with it. Seats for this are going to be all sprinter seats. The place that I used to work previously to where I'm currently working had a bunch of sprinter vans, and the insurance company would not let us have passengers in our service vehicles. So we had, I don't know, 32 sprinter van passenger side seats that I pulled 4 of them, and I have 4 of them. They're all passenger side seats, mind you, but I do have 4 of them. I did hit the mute button. I'm sorry. Thank you for letting me know there, Ash Mods. That was accidental. Like I was saying, the dash, I went with a skeleton look on the dash, and not real sure that I like it, but my plan was to do a, is the audio back now? Let me know if the audio is back. My plan was to do a, like I said, a skeleton dash with the Raptor liner. I was going to Raptor line it. All good now. Awesome. Parts laying everywhere. I've been trying to clean up my shop so we can get out here and start working in it again. Here's my setup for that wall control in my shop. Pretty much the same as KJ's, just a little easier to get to. Like I said, our shops are very similar to one another. Mine's smaller, but I have a bigger heater. That's what she said. I can make my shop, I can get it about, I can make it as warm as I want to in here, as long as it's not 5 degrees outside. If it's 5 degrees, I can still get it up to 60, 65 in here easy. The problem heating this place is, of course, the non-insulated garage doors and the fact that I have 4 of them. Other than that, I can keep it, like I said, I can keep it just about any temperature I want to in here. Organization is key, but you got to put everything away. That's a Vidmar that I used to carry around in one of my service trucks. I got these on Marketplace. I'm not real sure what they were, but now they house a little bit of everything. There's them Sprinter seats. I'm going to get seat covers for them Sprinter seats to make them look good. Just don't know what color. All right, well, I got to get everything put away, guys. I appreciate everybody here. If you like what you see and you want to keep up with us as we build the Bronco and all these other trucks we're building, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure that you hit like, push this stuff out. Tell your friends. We're in the Bullnose Fords. If you know anybody that likes Bullnose Fords, let them know that we're out here, that we're still kicking. We ain't going anywhere. Mongo's Garage is here to stay for a little while anyway. This is the kind of thing that we're trying to build. Trucks like this, keeping this old iron on the road. Like I said, this is Pam, KJ's 1986 F-150 Super Cab 8-foot bed. The truck that started everything for me was a 1985 Super Cab 8-foot bed, better known as Henry. Or am I putting a Cummins in it? In what? I am not putting a Cummins in the Bronco, no. There is a Cummins in that. That's Clifford. Clifford has a 6B 5.9 liter 12 valve Cummins. That is an F350 dually with 22 5s. Well, they're 22s. There is a full build series of Clifford on the channel. If you guys want to check it out, make sure you go over there and check it out. Let's keep long form video around for a while too, guys. Shorts are awesome, and they build up watch time like there's no tomorrow. But let's try and keep that long form stuff alive too, right? Because that's where we go to find these things out. When you go to YouTube University, that's what we're after. This is every night now that I've done a live, I've ended up talking about this truck, and usually this is how we end it. It was a 351 Windsor. It's a 2-wheel drive, dually, 4-door. My wife is going to bed, so it's just about time for me to go. Not yet, though. I'll show you guys what this truck is all about. I've got a 1973 Cheyenne steel body. That's awesome. Again, this truck's by no means done, but it's a whole lot further along than it was when we bought it. It was an old state road truck, or municipal truck, over near Hershey, PA, and KJ and I went over to get it. Again, there is a full, we even have video from whenever we were making the deal with the guy that KJ bought this truck from. We actually got on a live that night when we were doing a marketplace video. But if you go to the place, excuse me, guys. If you go over to the playlist for this truck for Clifford. You'll see all that stuff. So I'll show you the goodie part under the hood. This is what everybody wants to see. It only has a single battery in it right now. It has the engine plate that we ended up using was for a 6.4 conversion, so it has a 6.4 starter in it. It has a total custom 3-inch downpipe with 4-inch stainless from there all the way to the back. It's axle dumped. It does not come out the side. This is a piece of equipment engine. It came out of a piece of equipment known as a trackmobile or a mobile rail car mover. It is a 12-valve Cummins. I think it's 186 horsepower, something like 400 foot-pounds of torque. And it does not have an automotive injection pump on it. It has an equipment injection pump on it. And I've explained this just about every night I show it to everybody so that they understand. The difference is this injection pump is governed to engine speed. And what I mean by that is when you put your foot into it, the governor is trying to keep the engine speed at that specific speed. So let's say here in Western Pennsylvania, we've got hills and mountains. If I'm cruising along and it's in 5th gear, that engine can go to full fuel even at part throttle because it is trying to maintain that engine RPM. So you can literally pull up to a hill and never have to lift even at part throttle because it will go to full throttle, but it will not over rev the engine. It's a really interesting thing to drive on the road. Some people may not even notice it, but if you if you're used to things like that, you'll pick it up right away. The other thing that's really funky is when you downshift. If you overrun the engine, if you run the engine faster than where you have the throttle set, it will not fuel at all. So it'll actually overrun the engine. Really nice install. The hardest, as you can see, it is vacuum boosted still. So we have a vacuum pump on it. It's off of a Dodge. It's hidden down there below the oil pressure switch. And then the power steering line, power steering pump is down there. Same thing off of a Dodge. We cut the Dodge power steering hose and the Ford power steering hose in two and joined them with a crimp-on connector. A hose fitting, just a regular one-wire hose fitting, and we haven't had any issues since. That bottom radiator hose is a special deal that I took to a local muffler shop and had them bend me up that hose. This is a 1-ton, I'm not a 1-ton. This is a big block Ford radiator. 2 14-inch electric fans on it. Obviously, we can't get a regular mechanical fan in there. Reason we can't get a mechanical fan in there, everybody says, why is it so close? Mine isn't, is because we put a 3rd-gen Dodge intercooler in behind that. That intercooler, I believe, wakes this motor up quite a bit. It gives it great throttle response, but the biggest thing with this thing is it is gear bound. The truck had 355 gears in it when we built it, and it still does. I'm looking for a 10 1/4 Ford dually rear end with 308s in it. That's a really odd gear, and the only thing that came with 308s and a 10 1/4 is the 6.9s with the C6. So it's a pretty weird gear, and in those gears were only for out in the flat country, if you will. Yeah, KJ loves this truck. It sounds good. It sounds just like a Dodge. Ow. Look at that. That's kind of spooky. That's the moon. It sounds just like a Dodge. I just ran my shin into them things, which happens to me a lot. KJ loves these wheels. The wheel package, I'll just tell you this, guys. Good night, Rowdy. Good night, Rodney. Love you guys. Be good. Stay out of trouble. Safe travels. The wheel package on this truck was about $3,000. That's the 8 to 10 bolt adapters, and then the wheels and tires themselves. Those were 22.5 Alcoas that have been cut down to fit 22-inch tires. Everybody's doing that today. 16 likes, guys. Go ahead and keep hitting that like button. I'll stick around. we'll keep talking about this junk. Oh, knock her into neutral. I don't know. It's, what, 60 degrees out here tonight? I'll show you guys how this thing starts. No no grid heater, no nothing. Just make sure it's in neutral. She lights right up. Like I said, she sounds really good. I like it. I'll let you hear it. Well, then you're used to that sound, Ash Mods. Just as smooth as can be, guys. She's a runner. This truck is a blast to drive. Wow, you almost can see me. Yeah, this truck is a blast to drive. Not only does it turn heads every way, but everybody that sees it says it's not supposed to make them kind of noises, and it's not. But it does, because KJ put all the work and effort and paid all the money. And I helped him, and we made it what it is. But that's Clifford. There's plenty of videos on the channel about this truck. Make sure if you like it, get over there and check them out. Yeah, so this is 998. That's what video number this is. And we're now down to about 70. We've been holding close to 100 here for a while. So I think I'm going to head on to the house, get cleaned up, and get ready for bed. I got to close everything up here. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. Hit that like button. Keep me around for a while. And let's try and get the channel monetized so we can start making some money here. Appreciate that, brother. The plans for Clifford, he wants to go ahead and paint this thing red and white and actually lower it a little lower than it currently is. But that's kind of, at least I think that's the plans. All right. Really appreciate you guys sticking around with me. You have a great evening as well. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and check out all the other good stuff that we have there. Thanks so much, everybody. The old Mongo Man is out. Boom.